Today I'm covering a question I get a lot. What is the difference between SAMRO and RISA? But before we get going, I want you to leave it in the comments. What would you like me to cover next? So the first thing, let's tackle SAMRO, South African Music Rights Organization. SAMRO is a PRO, Performance Rights Organization, and they are mandated to license performance rights and collect performance royalties for musicians. This basically means if you compose music or write lyrics or are a publishing entity, then SAMRO is very important for you and your entity because they collect your royalties. When your music is performed in public, so such as in radio, TV, or other public performances, or even if you're performing your music yourself live, then a royalty is generated. This royalty goes through SAMRO, gets an administration fee, and makes its way to the rights holder. So SAMRO is very important for all musicians and composers that write their own lyrics, and composers and authors within the South African context. SAMRO has relations with other PROs throughout the world, such as BMI, ASCAP, PRS, and they help get the royalties all the way back through to the relevant musicians. So SAMRO is something you definitely want to register with, especially if your music is generating royalties in South Africa. Now let's tackle RISA, the recording industry of South Africa. RISA typically works with the recording industry, so record labels and recording artists. Now there's a difference between musicians that are composers and authors and publishers versus recording industry people such as recording artists, session musicians, and the record labels. Now, if you don't know that difference, I will leave a link for my mini course which breaks down how this works, but there's a difference between those two things. So back to RISA. RISA helps coordinate the recording industry by lobbying and helping things such as piracy, preventing piracy. But what is most important for musicians that are independent particularly, RISA also administers the ISRC. The ISRC is a number that helps identify a song that has been recorded, so like an ID number for a record. RISA is also behind the official South African music charts, and they are also the body that helps certify music as gold, platinum, and silver. So this is typically for mainstream big artists, things that they would worry about. You as an independent musician are most likely focused on things such as the ISRC code with regards to RISA and their anti-piracy work, which is also something that used to be a big thing when CDs were still very big in the music industry. So which one gives money? Basically, SAMRO gives you performance royalties. RISA does not directly give you any royalties, but they are affiliated with RISA Audiovisual. So Audiovisual, RISA Audiovisual, RAV in other words. RAV typically focuses on music videos and collects those royalties, but typically independent musicians won't be getting big there. So if you want to consider where to register, you definitely want to register with SAMRO. And with regards to RISA, you want to see if those other things that they do are more important. There's 2 registration fees for both entities. So SAMRO has an entrance fee. Last time I checked, it may have changed, it was 100 Rand. And then last time I checked for RISA, it was approximately 500 Rand. But these prices do change. But off the top, SAMRO is a once-off application fee, and RISA is an annual subscription type fee where you pay 500 per year. So in short, if you write music and then record the music, then you might want to consider registering with both, but you have to look at the specifics, particularly the finances of registering for both. If you're an independent musician, you're hardly getting any streams, you don't have any music videos on major TV, and you're not really getting much sales, then I would highly recommend focusing just on SAMRO, getting your music out there and growing the demand for your music. But if you're selling multiple amount of songs, getting multiple streams, then you want to consider RISA because you may want to get the certification type of thing. With that said, if you've made it this far, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And until next time, Skilligan the Hooligan, signing out.